Hello Lakers fan, if you are one of those who are always up to date with the news about our Lakers, then you need to stay tuned to what is coming up on our Lakers news channel. I am preparing exclusive coverage on the possible signings of LAKERS, and what I can tell you is that rumors are catching fire on social media, and if you don't want to miss any information, stay tuned. We have exclusive news every day. If you are a true Lakers and don't want to be left out of the news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go to the video.
Timberwolves vs Lakers. Game 2 preview. The Lakers' playoff run didn't start the way they hoped, dropping Game 1 at home to the Timberwolves. Now, Game 2 becomes a must-win before the series shifts to Minnesota. The concern isn't just the loss, it's how it happened. Minnesota outplayed LA with physical defense and elite three-point shooting. Jaden McDaniels and Naz Reid combined for 48 points, and the Lakers had no answer. JJ Redick will need to adjust quickly in his first postseason as head coach. His strategy to protect the paint while leaving corner shooters open didn't pay off. Defensively, LA has to be sharper. Offensively, they need more ball movement and better support around Luka Doncic. LeBron and Reeves must step up. If the Lakers want to keep control of this series, they need to show it Tuesday night. Game info. Date, Tuesday, April 22nd. Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Location, Crypto.com Arena, Los Angeles, California. TV, TNT, True TV, Max, Spectrum Sportsnet. Radio, 7:10 a.m. ESPN LA. The pressure is on, and the spotlight is brighter than ever. If the Lakers fall short again in Game 2, they'll head to Minnesota trailing 0-2, a scenario no team wants to face, especially against a deep and confident Timberwolves squad. For a team with title ambitions, starting the series in such a hole could force major changes, both in strategy and potentially in rotation. The buzz around the league has already started. Analysts have questioned the Lakers' defensive identity, wondering if Redick's game plan is sustainable against a team with this many capable shooters. Social media hasn't been kind either. Clips of Minnesota's wide-open threes and the Lakers' slow closeouts have been circulating nonstop. Meanwhile, the Timberwolves are gaining serious momentum. Their bench production in Game 1 turned heads across the NBA, and their ability to stay composed on the road has added a new layer of respect to this team. Naz Reid, who was once seen as just a reliable backup, is suddenly becoming a playoff X-factor. And McDaniels? His two-way performance has sparked comparisons to some of the league's most versatile wings. For the Lakers, Game 2 isn't just about tying the series. It's about sending a message, to the Timberwolves, to the fans, and to themselves, that they're still in control. That their championship window hasn't slammed shut. That one bad game won't define their postseason. Adjustments are expected on both ends. Look for the Lakers to play with more urgency, more physicality, and cleaner ball movement. Whether it's tightening the rotation, increasing defensive pressure on the perimeter, or giving Doncic more help through structured sets and off-ball screens, changes are coming. And they'll need to be effective, because the Timberwolves aren't backing down. They smell blood, and they know a 2-0 lead with 2 home games coming up could all but seal this series. NBA Fantasy Basketball Guide, top playoff picks for Timberwolves vs Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers entered the playoffs with high expectations, but Game 1 didn't go their way. A sluggish performance led to a tough home loss against the Minnesota Timberwolves, putting LA in a difficult position heading into Game 2. With the next 2 games taking place in a high-energy atmosphere of Minnesota's Target Center, the urgency for the Lakers couldn't be higher. But for fantasy basketball players, this series presents plenty of value. Thanks to a new partnership between Betcher and LakersNation.com, fans have the opportunity to claim up to $200 in a first deposit bonus, along with an extra free pick by using the promo code LakersNation. Betcher is quickly becoming a favorite platform for fantasy sports during both the regular season and playoffs, and with a matchup this competitive, there are some smart plays to make. Here's a look at some of the top fantasy picks for Timberwolves vs Lakers Game 2. Top fantasy picks, Timberwolves vs Lakers, Game 2. Luka Doncic, 0.5 combined points plus rebounds. Pick, over. Doncic is listed at an incredibly low line for this matchup. This is a value you don't want to pass up. LeBron James, 5.5 rebounds. Pick, over. With the Lakers in a must-win situation, expect LeBron to be more active on the glass and set the tone early. Austin Reeves, 27.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. Pick over. Reeves has quietly been one of LA's most consistent contributors. A bounce-back game seems likely. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 6.5 points. Pick over. He's been a steady presence off the bench. With increased minutes, this line feels very reachable. Quick tip: not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Now's the time. Stay updated with exclusive player interviews, live shows, behind-the-scenes coverage, and all things Lakers. Don't miss out. Need help building your fantasy slip or making your picks? Let me know who you're considering. We'll create a smart, winning strategy together. Lakers versus Timberwolves, the game that could define the series. The Lakers' playoff journey didn't exactly start as planned. After a full week of rest and riding high off a 50-win regular season, they were stunned on their home floor by the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 1, falling 117-95, despite a 37-point effort from Luka Doncic. But if you're a Lakers fan, don't lose hope just yet. In fact, there are real reasons to believe this series is far from over, and that Game 2 could mark the beginning of a turning point. Here are 3 key reasons to stay optimistic. 1. LeBron James is about to turn it up. Let's be honest, LeBron didn't look like himself in Game 1. With just 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, he was unusually quiet, even going scoreless in the first quarter for the first time in his playoff career. It was a performance that didn't reflect his legacy or impact. But here's what we do know: LeBron always responds. Even at 40, his leadership, feel for the game, and ability to elevate when it matters most remain unmatched. Luka might be the offensive engine right now, but LeBron is still the emotional core, and his assertiveness is essential if the Lakers hope to match Minnesota's physical, disciplined play. After this initial punch to the mouth, expect LeBron to come out with a different fire in Game 2. 2. Luka Doncic has found a target: Rudy Gobert. Despite the blowout loss, the Lakers exposed a critical flaw in Minnesota's defense: Rudy Gobert on the perimeter. When forced to switch onto Luka, the Wolves' big man struggled to stay in front, and Luka capitalized with fouls, buckets, and chaos. Gobert played just 24 minutes, finishing with 2 points and 3 fouls. Naz Reid was spectacular on offense, but Gobert's struggles defending in space were a clear weak link. And when Luka gets those switches in the pick and roll, he dictates the game. If head coach J.J. Redick continues to hunt those mismatches, the Lakers could start pulling apart Minnesota's defense from the inside out. 3. J.J. Redick will make the defensive adjustments. Redick's playoff coaching debut wasn't pretty, and he knows it. But if there's one thing he's proven all season, it's that he learns quickly. The team wasn't physically ready for Minnesota's pace and aggression, and their initial strategy, protecting the paint and daring the Wolves to shoot, backfired. Minnesota hit 21 of 42 threes, with Naz Reid and Jaden McDaniels lighting it up. Now, adjustments are a must. Expect Redick to increase minutes for defenders like Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent, and Jared Vanderbilt to tighten perimeter coverage and limit the open looks that led to Minnesota's scoring outburst. A change to the starting lineup could also be on the table, potentially moving away from Jackson Hayes in favor of a more versatile, switch-heavy unit. No panic, but the alarm's been set. There's no need to hit the panic button just yet. But make no mistake, Game 2 is huge. Losing both home games in a series this tight could be a backbreaker. The good news? The Lakers have the tools to bounce back: a generational talent in Luka, a proven warrior in LeBron, and a coaching staff capable of adapting. If they bring the intensity and make the necessary tweaks, the series is still wide open. Game 2 tips off Tuesday, April 23rd, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. Brasilia Time, on ESPN, and it might just be the night the Lakers flip the script. Inside the locker room, urgency and unity. Following the Game 1 loss, the mood in the Lakers locker room wasn't panic, it was urgency. Several players described the loss as a wake-up call, with LeBron reportedly speaking privately to the team post-game about matching Minnesota's physicality and focus from the opening tip. "We weren't the aggressors," said Jared Vanderbilt. "They punched us in the mouth, and we didn't respond the way we should have. That has to change." J.J. Redick echoed that sentiment in his post-game remarks, emphasizing the need for tighter rotations and smarter decisions, especially in transition, where the Wolves dominated with 19 fast breakpoints. Minnesota's depth makes them dangerous. One of the biggest revelations in Game 1 wasn't just the star power of Anthony Edwards, it was the Timberwolves' depth. With Karl-Anthony Towns in early foul trouble and Rudy Gobert limited, Minnesota leaned on Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and they delivered in a big way. Reid finished with 23 points on 8 of 11 shooting, McDaniels added 17 and played elite defense on the wing, and the Wolves bench outscored the Lakers reserves 44-28. That kind of production gives Minnesota a real advantage, especially when their starters aren't at full strength. For the Lakers, it's now or never. Game 2 isn't just a must-win for momentum, it's critical for survival. Falling behind 0-2, with the next 2 games in Minneapolis, would put the Lakers in a nearly impossible spot. Historically, teams down 0-2 with both losses at home only recover 6.7% of the time. That stat isn't lost on the veterans. "We know what's at stake," said LeBron after Monday's practice. "There's no panic. Just poise. But we have to raise our level, all of us." Look for the Lakers to potentially shake up their defensive assignments on Edwards, who carved them up with drives and kickouts. Vanderbilt and Vincent are expected to see increased minutes, possibly as early as the first quarter. The X factor, crowd energy and identity. While Crypto.com Arena was loud early in Game 1, the buzz faded once Minnesota took control. The Lakers will need their home crowd to stay engaged, and they'll need to give fans something to rally around. The key? Rediscovering their identity. All season long, the Lakers built success around tough defense, LeBron-led execution, and Luka's creative brilliance. They got away from that in Game 1. Game 2 is their chance to re-establish it, before the Timberwolves bury them in confidence. Game 2, the battle for control. Round Pushpin Crypto.com Arena. 7 o'clock Tuesday, April 23rd to 7th p.m. ET/11 p.m. Brasilia time. Television live on ESPN. This one isn't just about bouncing back, it's about sending a message. To the Timberwolves, to the fans, and to themselves, the Lakers aren't done yet. Jeanie Buss hints at plans to honor the 2020 championship team. Since winning it all in 2020, Lakers governor Jeanie Buss has had one goal in mind: getting the team back to the top. The road hasn't been easy, and while the franchise hasn't captured another title since then, the recent addition of Luka Doncic has reignited championship hopes in Los Angeles. If this season isn't the one, the hope is that Doncic can lead the team to glory in the near future. With the Boston Celtics now holding 18 championships, one more than the Lakers, Buss knows just how important it is to reclaim that lead and reinforce the Lakers' legacy as the NBA's most iconic franchise. That 2020 championship team was something special. They brought hope and resilience during one of the darkest times in recent memory. But because of the COVID-19 pandemic, they were never able to have the celebration they deserved. No parade, no public moment with the fans. And that's something that still weighs on Jeanie Buss. In a recent interview with SiriusXM NBA Radio, Buss opened up about a possible tribute if the Lakers were to win it all again. "You can't even go there mentally yet. We've got a tough opponent in the first round and nothing is guaranteed. But if we're fortunate enough to win another championship, I would absolutely look for a way to honor that 2020 team. They didn't get the celebration they earned because of the pandemic restrictions, especially here in LA County. A parade just wasn't an option at the time. But that doesn't mean we didn't want to celebrate. So yes, someday that moment will come." Buss was right to keep her focus on the current playoff run, particularly with a tough first-round matchup against the Timberwolves. But with the Lakers, the end goal is always a championship. That 2020 squad battled through so much, and in the midst of global uncertainty, they brought joy and unity to millions of fans. Basketball became a lifeline when the world shut down. And while the Lakers lifted the trophy in the Orlando bubble, they never got the chance to share that joy with the city of Los Angeles. When the next banner is raised, it could mark a rare double celebration, honoring both the current team and the champions of 2020. And for a franchise with such a rich history, that would feel just right. Jeanie Buss still regrets not letting the 2020 team defend their title. After winning a championship, most teams have the chance to come back and defend it, but the Lakers didn't. The 2020 offseason brought major roster changes, and the core that brought home the title was never fully given a shot to run it back. Even though the 2020-21 roster was, on paper, a stronger team overall, Buss still carries a sense of regret. She knows that defending a title is part of what makes a championship journey truly complete, and the 2020 Lakers never got that chance. While Jeanie Buss can't rewrite the past, she seems determined to ensure that the 2020 Lakers are never forgotten. That championship, won inside the NBA bubble at Walt Disney World, was far from ordinary. It came in the wake of Kobe Bryant's tragic passing, amid a global pandemic, and during a time of social unrest across the country. The Lakers didn't just win for themselves, they won for the city, for their fans, and in many ways, for Kobe. It was a title rooted in emotion, perseverance, and unity. And the fact that the team was never properly honored still stings, not just for the players, but for the fans as well. When Buss hinted at a potential tribute, it sparked immediate buzz across social media and sports outlets. Fans flooded platforms like X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram, expressing excitement at the idea of finally giving the 2020 team their moment in the sun. Former players like Dwight Howard and Kyle Kuzma even responded, with Howard commenting, "We did it for the city." A celebration would mean the world. LakersNation, one of the most passionate fan bases in sports, has long echoed that sentiment. Over the past few years, there have been countless calls for a delayed parade or some form of recognition. For many, that title was more than just a trophy. It was a symbol of resilience, during a time when hope was in short supply. From a league perspective, this kind of retroactive celebration would be unprecedented, but also deeply meaningful. It would set a new standard for how teams honor history while continuing to build their future. And if the Lakers were to win again this season or in the near future, what better backdrop than a dual celebration? One part for Luka Doncic and the team that brought LA back to glory, and one part for the heroes of 2020 who never got their flowers? Behind the scenes, sources close to the organization have suggested that Buss and the Lakers front office have already floated several ideas, ranging from a combined parade to a special ring ceremony or banner night solely for the 2020 team. While nothing is confirmed, the intent is clearly there. This also speaks to a deeper part of Jeanie Buss's leadership style. She's not just focused on trophies, she's focused on legacy, loyalty, and honoring those who helped write the Lakers' storied history. That's the kind of culture that keeps a franchise iconic for generations. So whether or not this season ends in championship gold, one thing is certain, the memory of 2020 isn't fading, it's waiting for its moment. And if Jeanie Buss has her way, that moment will come, loud and proud, under the California sun, with purple and gold confetti falling from the sky.